Hey everybody, Craig Carone here. Hey, so I decided I wanted to go ahead and show you guys a setup. I know that there's like a lot of people have a lot of problems getting things set up, and it's kind of typical, but basically what I want to do is I want to show you how to use one domain for your page builder, or site builder I should say, and for your autoresponder. But here's the catch, guys, is that like I told you guys before, that you have to have some type of hosting in order to receive emails from your autoresponder. Now, the thing is that if you don't have hosting, there's one other option, and that's using Gmail. Okay, so you can use Gmail if that's the only option you have. Okay, so you need a Gmail. Here's the things what you need. First off, you need GoDaddy. Okay, and we're going to also be putting this on Cloudflare, so we're going to be needing Cloudflare as well. And then you're going to need a Gmail business account, which is, I think, $10 a month to have a Gmail business account. Either 5 or 10. I believe it's 10 though. All right. So first thing that we want to do to get started is that I want to get, since we're not hosting anywhere else, we're going to be hosting, through builderall, and we're going to be using Gmail for our emails, and we're going to be using Cloudflare. So we're going to be having to change name servers a little bit here. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is come over here and under connect. Okay. We're over here at the page builder here. Under connect here, under connect domain, you're going to see two name servers. You're going to see NS1 L4DNS.com and NS2 L4DNS.com. Okay, and what we're going to do is, first off, we're going to come over here in our GoDaddy, which we already did this. Okay, we're just going to put our name servers in there, hit save. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to wait till it propagates. Okay, so since ours is already propagated, we can do whatever we need to do. Okay, so if we go and connect this domain right now, so if we go to the domain right now, which is called Ops Central, let's go and, whoops, wrong one. There we go. So if we go there, this is what we get right now. It's just the this is the default page for the omb10.com. That's for the builderall. Now, we're going to go ahead and connect this. So we're just going to go in here and we're going to connect it. Just like so. Hit save. All right. And now everything should be working accordingly. So if we go back to the site here, which we can click here, and you'll see that everything's working correctly. Okay. So the page is up and everything else is good to go. All right. Now, next step that we want to do, since we have everything set up already on the domain here, or on GoDaddy, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to Cloudflare, okay, and what we want to do is we want to move everything from their data, or from the server, and we want to move it into Cloudflare, okay, so we want to transfer everything in here, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to scan the site, and what we're going to do is this. Let me go ahead and grab the link here. All right, and we're just going to add it right in here, just like so. Let's get rid of that. We don't really need all that. And just hit begin scan. Actually, we'll just put www is fine. All right, just hit begin scan. And then it's just going to take a few minutes. It's going to scan through. It's going to grab all the DNS files from builderall, from the builderall host, from the builderall server. So it's going to grab all the DNS stuff, the MX records, the email records, and all that other stuff. All right. And once it does that, then the next step is we're going to have to add a few more records in our Cloudflare as well, from our email records to our autoresponder records. So we'll just wait here. It's going to be another second here, and we'll be good to go. All right. So we're there. So next thing we want to do is scan is complete. As you can see, we're going to hit continue setup. And as you can see, it pulled in all the records that we needed. So as you can see, we got the MX record from builderall. Okay, this is the IP address. We got this record, the A record. So we got we got the MX and the A record here. Okay, we've got the C name for the blog, C name for the mail, C name for the office, webmail, blog, blah blah blah. Okay, then we got Op Central. This is another MX record. Okay, and then we got this text file. Okay, now this is just for the mail boss. All right, which we actually don't even need to put that in now because we already have it, but we're gonna try it anyways. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna come over and we're gonna switch the server names. Okay, so what we're gonna do is come over here to hit continue. All right, and we're just gonna choose free website. All right, for Cloudflare, hit continue again. All right, and now we've got our new name servers here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and this is going to still take some time to propagate. Okay, so we're going to have to go back to GoDaddy here, and we're going to just come in here and we're going to change all this stuff here. All right, and we're going to go to the next one here, and we're just going to change this one out. Hit save, and typically it takes an hour, sometimes a few hours, but typically it doesn't take too long. So we will have to wait it out and see, but it's okay because in the meantime, while we're waiting, and I probably will pause this for a little while until it comes in. What I always do is I always come over here and I recheck name servers just to make sure. But I'm going to come over here to the DNS. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get everything else that I need to get set up. Okay. So next thing I need to do to get set up is I need to go into back into builderall, and we're going to go into the email marketing and automation. All right. And we're going to go over here, and we already have a list set up here. But we're going to create a new list just for a test list here. All right, so we're just going to name this test list for Trevor. And what I'm going to do here is, because this is the display name, this actually shows up in your emails. So I realize that in the welcome email, it actually shows up. So if you guys ever create a welcome email, you'll notice that the list name actually shows up, which looks kind of tacky. There's no way to delete it. I've tried. I've even contacted support, and there's no way to delete it right now. All right. So what I do instead is, because it's going to automatically put the name in. Okay. So like, for instance, if I come over here, put this description because it needs to, it's going to automatically do it. So watch here. I'll put this to single opt-in. I'll put this to double opt-in or single opt-in as well. And we'll come back in here in a second. All right, we'll just do email field. All right, and let's get rid of this. Okay, and then we'll just save this real quick. And then we'll come back in here, okay? And I'll show you what I mean. So if I come back in here, you'll see the display name is showing here. And you can't really just delete it because it just comes right back and shows up again anyways. So there's nothing you can really do because it's going to show no matter what. Even if I hit save and exit, see, it just comes right back. And that's going to come into the list name on the email. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. So what I do here, let me just show you that first because I don't want to confuse you here. So let's go into the welcome email here. And you'll notice up here, you'll see this thing right here, list name. It's going to show up in your email as your list name. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, and there's no way to delete it. I mean, I can highlight it all I want. It's just nothing you can do to delete it. Okay. So here's what I do just to make things a little bit easier. So I take this instead, and I just do 2 space bars, 1, 2, and that gets rid of it. So it won't show up in my email. It won't show my list name in my email at all. All right. But you have to use 2 space bars. You can't do anything less than that. it you have to have at least 2 characters, and 2 spaces is what they call 2 characters. All right, so next is I'm going to go to welcome email. I'm going to click yes. Now, you can always fill this out later. This right here is just like, let's say that the subscriber already subscribed. They're going to get taken to a page that says, you know, hey, you already subscribed to this email. You can make a customized page for this and maybe send them to a sales page later or whatever, or you can just send them straight to a sales page. It's up to you, whether they subscribed or not. I always just let them know, hey, you already subscribed to this email newsletter, and then, you know, check out one of our other offers or something, right? Okay, so that's it on that. And I just hit save changes, and we're good to go in there. So now we've got our test list, and that's all we really need for right now. But what we need now is we need to go over to domains, and then we need to click on sending domains here. All right, and as you can see, I already have there's already Op Central in here, but it's not verified yet. So what I'm going to do is actually, let's just delete this so I can kind of show you how to do this real quick. All right, we're just going to click on create new. All right, we're just going to put, let's put Op Central in there real quick. Just copy this. All right, and we're going to put that domain in there. Now remember, just the domain, no www or HTTP, just like this. And then we're just going to hit save changes. All right, now you're going to see this verify this domain thing, right? But now if I click on verify right now, see, it's going to be a red little label up here. It says unable to find proper text record for your domain name. If you just added records, please wait for them to propagate. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to add these records to our Cloudflare, right? So we're going to come over here. We're going to hit copy, and we're just going to grab this right here, this part right here, emboss, and then the domain key. Whoops. Just like so. We're going to copy that, and we're just going to come over here, and we're going to choose text. So the TXT right here, we're going to put in this key and make sure there's no spaces. We're going to come back in here, and we're going to grab all this with the quotes. We want the quotes in there as well. Just like so. Make sure you grab the quotes or it won't work. And that's just for Cloudflare and GoDaddy. If you're using a hosting company, then you don't want the quotes. But and we've done a video on that as well. So then I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to hit click to configure. I'm going to put that in there with the quotes, like I said. Hit save. Add record. And we got our first record in there. All right, let's go back here. And now we've got this right here, opcentral.com. Now, if you're using a hosting company, you would want to put this in there. But since we're not using a hosting company, we're going to use the @ symbol. So we're going to do @ just like that. Okay, we're going to come back in here, and we're going to grab this text right here with the quotes, remember. All right, we're going to come over here, hit paste, hit save, and we're going to hit add record. All right, so now we've got that record in there. Next step is we're going to grab this right here. So the first thing we need is this part right here. Whoops. There we go. We're just going to hit copy. Just where it says emboss. And what we're going to do is we're going to choose CNAME on this one. Up here. Hit paste. All right. Come back over here. And we're going to grab this right here. Okay, where it says member.mailingboss.com. Now remember, don't get the period at the end. Leave the period out. Okay, we don't need that. Okay, and if you're using a hosting company, you still don't need it because normally it creates the dot at the end. It creates the period at the end for you, and if you have a hosting company. But we don't need the period at the end. Some some might require that, but Cloudflare, GoDaddy, they don't require that. All right, so we got that in there. Now all we got to do is just add record. All right, and that's it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come back over here, and we're just going to verify the domain. But because Cloudflare might not be propagated yet. It might not work. So let's just try it. And it's still not working yet. So we've got to wait for it to be propagated, and that's going to take a little bit of time. Like I said, it could take an hour, it could take a few hours, but we'll come back. We're going to pause this video. We'll come back, and we will wait until this is propagated. We'll go ahead and verify the domain, and then we'll move over to Gmail, and then from there, we'll go ahead and start testing everything out so you guys can see how I did everything. All right, thanks, guys, and we will be back. All right, guys, and we're back. So what we're going to do now is I think that everything's been propagated okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and we're just going to hit verify DNS records. And once we verify, it should turn green. All right, as you can see, your domain has been successfully verified. All right, so now we're good to go to start adding our mail servers. Okay, so what we're going to do is we got to come back in here, and we're going to be adding some name servers or some server names in here for our Gmail admin account. Okay, so because we're using Gmail admin, we're going to have to use these mail servers here. Okay, so first one is we're going to use this one here. Okay, going to use this here, and then we're going to come back into here, and we're going to create what we call an MX record. All right, and we're just going to put the @ symbol in here. We're going to click to configure, and we're just going to put the server name in there just like so. All right, and then we're just going to hit save, and we're going to leave the priority as a 1 because this is going to be the main server. Okay, if this one ever goes down, we're going to have 4 more. Okay, so this is going to be the priority though. We're going to set it for 1 as the priority, so that'll be the first one it goes to. We're going to hit save. We're going to add that record, and we got it added now. All right, next one, we're going to go, whoops, we're going to come over here. We're going to grab this one and do the same thing. Okay, and this, put an @ configure, and we're going to set this one at a 5, just like so. Hit save. All right, and then we're going to do the next one. We'll go a little bit faster now. Okay, we'll just grab that, hit the @ that, do the 5, hit save, add record, make sure it took, and there we go. All right, now we're going to go do 10, just like so. Going to hit copy, go over here, hit the @ configure, I'm going to do 5 again, hit save, add record. Whoops, actually that was a 10. So let's go back in here, and this is the cool part. You guys can edit this all you want. So we'll come over here. We're just going to put 10 because that's what we needed. Hit save, and you'll see it went to a 10. Okay. All right, and last but not least, we're going to grab this one here. All right, whoops, we don't want the dot. Okay, and come over here. Same thing. Put that in there, and then we're going to add a 10, hit save, add record. All right, so we got all the records that we need now. Everything should be copacetic. Everything should be running perfectly fine. So now, and it still might need to propagate in here as well. So, but we're going to test it out anyways. We're going to go ahead and test out making sure the email goes through. So the best way to test this, you know, if you can't check your you know, if you're doing this for a client, with admin emails, the way it works is you have to actually get access through your client. Okay, so if he gives you the password and stuff, you would actually have to send him a text. I'm sorry. You would have to send. You would have to log in, and then they're going to send him a text. Gmail will. Then he'll have to send you a text in order to confirm that you can be in there, because it doesn't recognize the machine, so it does that. But if you don't want to do that, if you can't access that way, or the client's not around, or they're sleeping or whatever, it's okay, because there's another way that you can do this as well. All right, so since the name, and we're just going to copy this real quick. What I'll do is I'll go to my Gmail here. That one popped up automatically. All right. All right, so we're in our email here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to compose a message, and we're just going to send it to info, just like so, and we're just going to put test email. All right, and we're just going to see if it sends back a mailer daemon. If it sends back a mailer daemon, then that means that the email's not set up. And as you can see, it did send back a mailer daemon. Okay, so that means that we're going to have to go in there and we're going to have to set up the actual email. Okay, so that's going to be the first step, is setting up that email. Now, once that email is set up, we're good to go. Okay, so all you have to do is just go in and just make sure that you get things set up. But here's the thing. The reason why it's probably given a mailer daemon is because we switched over everything to Cloudflare, and Cloudflare still hasn't propagated the email text records and MX records. So it still hasn't propagated the MX records, so it still needs to do that. Now those are the two situations that could happen. So you can either get an email like this back, which means that they can't receive an email right now, either because they haven't set up the info@opcentral.com, or second reason is because your MX records haven't propagated quite yet. So we just have to wait it out. Okay. Now, what we can do for now, until that's propagated, we can test it out and we can see if the replies work or if the send is working. So that way we can kind of see if that's working. If that works, if the send's working, it's just because that just means the info hasn't been set up. It means the email hasn't been set up, and it has nothing to do with the propagation of the MX records. It just means that the email itself hasn't been set up yet through the client. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna test it out. So what we'll do is come over here, and we're just going to click here. We're gonna go to subscribe form. This is an easy way to test out your list. All right, and we're just going to click preview it now. And we'll just put in our email, hit subscribe. All right, and that's it. Okay, that's all you have to do. Now, if you are setting this up as well, like let's say that you don't want to send people to this page after they opt in. Okay, another way that you can do this is you can send them somewhere else. Okay, so for instance, what we could do is we can come over here. All right, let's do this real quick. Go back to subscriber list here. All right, and what we're going to do is just click on this gear icon again. And we're going to scroll down to subscription confirmed. Okay, and you'll see this is the page that we just came from after we opted in. As you can see, congratulations. Your subscription is now complete. Congratulations, your subscription is now complete. Okay, so it's the same page. What we can do is just come over here and we just put in our own website. So let's say I wanted to put in, we'll just put in Op Central in here just so you can kind of see. We'll just redirect it back to the same website. All right, and we'll just hit save. And you can set number of seconds as well. All right, so now when we opt in, it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, so let's go back over here. We'll opt in. We'll opt in one more time, just for the heck of it. But this time, what we'll do is we'll opt in with a different email address. We'll use this one here. Hit subscribe. And you can see now it goes to Op Central instead. Okay, simple as that. All right, so let's go in and let's go check our email. So as you can see, the email did go through. So it's not the actual emails that's the problem. It's not the actual propagation. And as you can see, it didn't go into spam. I know a lot of you guys have problems with it going to spam and kind of setting up your emails. You just got to make sure you're doing things correctly and you're white labeling your emails correctly. All right, so when we come over here, we can see everything's good. Now, actually, if you look right here, you'll see that that it has not been propagated. All right, and I'll tell you why. Because you'll see right here, it says user admin 27874@mailerboss.net. That right there just shows you that it has not been propagated. So it's not the email that's the problem. It's the propagation. That's why we're getting this message right here. All right. This is exactly why we're getting this message, because it has been propagated. And how we can tell is because it's showing this email. What email should be showing is info@opcentral.com. All right. So you'll know when it's actually, propagated when you see info@opcentral.com or whatever your email is. Okay. So you can see right here, this one's admin@SureCentral. You can reply to that one. All right. And you can change that out as well. So none of that has been fixed yet. So we just got to wait for it to propagate, and it shouldn't take much longer. So let's go check our other email, see if maybe throughout all the ruckus, maybe it got propagated in the meantime. Okay. As you can see, there it is again. Nope. So it hasn't been propagated. So it's just going to take a little bit to propagate. And once it does propagate, we're good to go. Now, what you can do is you can change some other things too. So let's say that we want to change the email in here. So we can go to, we'll go right here to this little pencil thing here. All right. We'll come over to advanced, and we can go and change our email. So because we're using a different email here, we're going to do info at, what was it? Oh, at OpCentral. All right. Info at OpCentral. Sorry, I don't mean to be so detailed, guys, but I'm a very detailed type of guy, so I try to I try to have everything in detail so you guys can understand a little bit better. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do one more time. We're going to go ahead and we're going to subscribe. And we're going to, because we got the new email addresses in there, we want to make sure we're going to see if it's actually propagated yet. I'm just going to do that. Hit subscribe. It should, because we had the wrong emails in there, it should be okay. So it might actually work this time. So let's go check our email here. We'll just wait a few minutes here, and then we'll go check. And then we just I like to just come in and double check everything, make sure everything's, working in the correct order here. Because sometimes things do, sometimes if you've got your mail, if you're grabbing from another server, let's say, and you're pushing it over to Cloudflare, sometimes you have to delete a few records in order for the other records to take. So, but because we went straight from their server onto Cloudflare, it's different. And it's going to work fine. But if we went through another host or something, then yeah, it would definitely be a little bit different state there. All right, so let's go check out the email here. All right, as you can see, we got the email, and there we go. So it has been propagated. All right, and we can see that it did work. Now, like I told you before, there is the email might not have been set up, which I don't think it has, but we're gonna try. So we're just gonna reply to this just to see. We'll just put hello. This is the test, and I think the email's been set up. It just might not have been set up correctly yet, but we're gonna test it out. If it doesn't come back, then we're good to go. But as you can see, there's a mail delivery thing come back just like that. So the email isn't set up. So we're getting the email, but we're just not able to reply to that email quite yet. And the reason why is because that email hasn't been set up quite yet. So that's what we need to do. We just need to set that email up. And all it takes is to add the domain. So all we have to do is just add a domain, and then we just have to add our email. And the domain might already be added. We just have to add the actual email itself, and then we're good to go. So anyways, that's it, guys. I think that's about as detailed as I can get here. I don't want to log into somebody's account, on the video here, into their email account. So that's about as far as I can go with that. But like I said, if you are getting the mailer daemon when you reply to the email, just make sure that you go in, and you'll know that everything's set up correctly if you're getting the email. So if you're getting the email, that just means that your DNS did propagate. All the mail servers are working correctly as it should, but you just haven't set up your Gmail email yet, or whatever. If you're using a business account or whatever email you're using for a host, any type of host or anything like that as well. So anyway, I hope I didn't confuse you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know, and we will answer everything and anything that we can. All right, have a good one, and we'll talk soon.